Ready? It's a new day, Ruby dog. It's a new day. Are you excited to work on the camper today? Yeah? Let's go! Gonna get started on doing some sanding to these cabinets. They've got just some fuzzy stuff going on. Knock that off and then start with priming and painting. Got a lot happening here.
Oh, there's things happening for sure. But I'm just getting started.
All right, dude, stop that. Trying to video. All right, we got a helper out here today. We got this, he's a working man now.
Right.
Bussing tables.
Jackie boy showed up.
Making a living. He wants to learn how to do some brakes. So what do you got going on?
So I was just explaining to Jack what we're doing. Pulling off the caliper, brake pads. Right now, I cut the brake line just so it's easier to get to the brake line on this end. I can put a socket on it now instead of a wrench. I'm replacing the line or the brake hose anyway, not a big deal. That's just what's remaining in the master cylinder and also replacing the master cylinder. So beautiful. Oh, look at that. Nice little dirt daubers. They must have been living in there in the off season when the camper wasn't being used. Huh, that's a huge piston, just a single piston. So I was just prying on the dust cap here. It looks pretty mashed up because of previous attempts to get it off. Oh, grease looks like it's been in there for a few years. So
it's like caramel.
Yeah, what we're gonna have to do is we'll clean all this out. You can see the bearings in there, but we've got to take off big nut there that holds it all together. Here's our cotter pin, our retaining ring. We're competing with lawnmowers and airplanes.
And Ruby. Jeez.
Or they're gonna bomb us. Get him.
What the heck?
You gotta shoot him down, don't you?
That wasn't a good sound, though.
Oh, what would your sound be?
It wouldn't be.
Pew, pew, pew. Like some other man. Like some other man do.
Christy's inside working.
And singing.
And singing.
Jack, have you ever seen Roger Rabbit?
No.
Dude.
He's raising you.
Right. What have you been doing? What am I doing? Oh boy, it's coming out. It's gonna fall on us all. All right, Jack. It is. Nope, don't pull it out. That thing's super heavy.
Oh, this is coming off too?
Yeah, everything's coming off at the same time.
Okay.
There's your bearing. Oh! Jeez, a heavy one. Okay, all right.
Oh, look at that. Looks like my nose.
Oh. Oh,
Nasty.
that whizzed right past my ear hole. It's actually in good shape, so I'm happy about that. So we ultimately didn't take the brake rotors to have them resurfaced. I did it myself. Well, Jack helped too. So looks pretty good. Clean them up a little bit. It'll work.
It's a big day for our town. We got a new store. Oh boy. What do we have to get here?
I'm gonna get a brake line flaring tool and a screw/bolt extractor set.
Oh yeah, that'll come in handy.
Yeah.
Might have got 1 or 2 things that weren't on the list. Oh boy. So when we were first married, we bought a,
Kmart.
what's it called?
Does that have a name?
Benchline Pro.
Sure.
Okay. When we were first married, we bought a Benchline Pro miter saw, and we've had it ever since. It's been 20 some odd years.
Yeah.
And so we thought when we get a new one, we're going to get a good one. You know, Makita, something like that.
Step up.
So what'd we get?
Some Chicago tool, Chinese, Harbor Freight, miter saw.
Ridiculous, but it was $100.
Right.
I mean, so
We could have either got 10 Whopper meals from BK or a miter saw. But we chose the miter saw.
fast food prices are outrageous. This looks like it's about to get interesting. Ooh.
Yeah, look at that, huh? Pretty red grease. Just right for bugs to fly into. Well, thanks to Jack, he helped clean up on that quite a bit. You got this ready to be glooped on a little bit. So I'm just slapping some on here. This is the beginning of the putting it back together phase. This is the wheel seal, this metal piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's press fit in, and then this rubber seal is what's going to slide over the spindle there. And then of course you got your bearings inside here. All that grease.
Shoot, I was drifting off. Sorry. All right. I mean, not nodding off. I mean, my camera was just...
Every time I talk, it's like you want to go to sleep. I don't know what's going on.
I didn't mean nodding off. I meant I was watching you and I wasn't paying attention to my video.
I might have to take this glove off. We're going to...
Do you want me to do it? Here. I was going to hand you the camera. Well, here, can you hold that in your other? And I'm going to put it on.
You gotta be so gentle.
I am, you know me.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I'm telling
Hercules!
you. Okay, now you can't just jam it in there.
I'm going to.
You better not. Look at her go. Master mechanic.
Is it on? Oh.
Well, it'll just rest there, most likely.
It feels like it's going to tip off.
Well, it'll probably...
Does it have to go on farther than that?
No, it's not going to go on further.
Oh, there, it went on further.
Okay. All right.
There.
All right. So you can pull that out.
All right, now let me trade you positions. You know I love mechanicking work.
I do know that you love that. In hindsight, I forgot that I hadn't packed this yet. That's what I had the grease out initially for anyway. So here we go. We're going to pack this real quick while my foot does all the heavy lifting over there. We just pop that paper towel out, and of course it's not clean. So we're going to have to pull that back off.
What?
Oops.
I'll do it.
As they say, mistakes were made. It's just as heavy coming off as it was.
You gotta move your foot.
Okay, I'm moving it. Oh, right. Perfect. You nailed it.
Nailed. But is that the old grease or what?
Yeah, it's grease and grime. I have got to get this glove off of my hand if I'm going to.
Oh, now you take it off. Now that the thing's already.
Well, you kept telling me to keep my glove on.
I thought
I'm fed up with it.
I thought you wanted it.
Keep your glove on. Keep your glove on.
Oh.
I'm gonna put grease back on the spindle.
Oh. 30 minutes of you greasing a spindle.
Oh, 30 minutes. Gosh. All right, now I'm going to put a little bit of grease down in my race and hub here. There's probably a amount of grease that they say, yeah, do this amount.
Is there such a thing as too much? Because you just put in like 2 cups of grease.
Yeah, I know. I feel like, no, there's not such a thing as too much.
Do they measure it in cups when you're doing automotive work?
Right.
Apply approximately 1/8 cup of grease.
I doubt it. Okay, I am ready for the assembly to go back onto...
Do I...
You want me to do it?
Well, I don't... Last thing you did is take your glove off first thing. when I put it on.
Well,
Are you gonna take your glove off anyway?
I'll
I mean,
probably
I'll
take
do
my
it.
glove off.
I'm good at it.
All right, I'm taking my glove off.
I'm good. I'm good at it. Oh, I found my life's calling. Putting the.
You thought I was going to throw that at you? What the heck?
I thought you would throw the grease glove
Wow.
at my head.
Dang. I get no credit.
Oh,
Okay.
shoot.
All right, watch me. I'm going to screw it up now.
It's heavier than it looks.
Yeah, right?
Trust me. You got the squat position, though. That's a good...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yours went on farther than mine, I think. Oh, no, you're holding it with your knee, I see.
With your knee more.
Maybe with your knee more. Please.
I flinched when you went to throw that glove. That's awesome.
I've never thrown a thing at you in my life, and all of a sudden you're flinching at greasy rubber gloves. Oh, brother.
I mean, were you not tempted? You have a rubber glove full of grease, and I'm sitting here.
Well, I mean, now that you mention it, I do have another side to do, and I'll probably need help over there. Now that you got your assembly on here, your hub, you're going to put your bearing, slide it onto your shaft there. Okay, that felt good.
Wow, that really
got a lot of grease. Yeah, yeah. Well, like we said, you can never have too much.
My brother was insistent that we paint the calipers, and unfortunately we forgot to buy paint, so we don't have anything cool like red or yellow. Here's what we have. Teal.
Teal.
So we're gonna hit it.
Oh, was that 2 minutes of shaking?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy.
Oh boy, is right. I'm doing your technique.
Yeah.
There. Perfect?
Yeah.
That looks perfect. I do wish it was yellow.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tommy. We tried.
These are like the finest threads ever. They're about 1 mile long on a big bolt. So it's really just, you know, fun all the way around.
Yeah.
I'll need a different socket. That socket is, I think it's that 15/16. It's a shorty right in front of you. Shorty right in front of you. Right there. Oh, yeah, that was it.
So that spot above you is where Jack cleaned the frame earlier? Is that?
Yes.
Oh my God. So it's really white under there? If we took a power washer to that, we'd have a white frame.
Yeah, but then you'd immediately have rust issues probably. All this grease and grime is keeping it from, it's like candy coating. It's just preserving the chocolatey inner goodness.
Oh, I thought you were going to bring up Fiddle Faddle again.
No.
Can you admit that Cracker Jacks has peanuts now, that you've been proven wrong?
According to Instagram, she showed me one thing
It was
that said Cracker Jacks. It was like a,
oh, shush.
we'll call it a meme. It's Cracker Jacks with peanuts.
It was a picture of a Cracker Jacks box. A meme. We'll call it a meme.
All right, look at that. I got the new brake hose on my hard brake line back here at my bracket. Now I just got to run that into the bottom of the caliper. But
Caliper butt. I am learning a lot.
Bendix. Yeah, look at that. O-ring, clip, bolt. Pads in. Clips clamped.
I think the time has come for at least one of these guys to make its way onto Harvey. Do you put 1 1/3 cup of grease in that cap?
At least.
So we need an innie or an outie? We need an outie. We need an Audi. Oh, they're all dirty. Man. As soon as we get this done, we're taking Harvey to the car wash. Okay,
I'm spinning, you're spraying. This is how we spray paint stuff now.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what was that?
I don't know, I'll get closer. It's windy, I guess. Okay, ready?
Yeah. Oh,
That's
that
good.
looks perfect, huh?
It's
Pretty close.
amazing.
Yeah. Oh.
There we go.
Perfect.
Whoop, that one was a little wild. So, but some of the threads kind of show.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to spray the threads, but I mean, just spray the end. Yeah.
Oh boy.
When we're going down
This stuff really comes out fast.
When we're going down the road at 90 miles an hour. Sorry. When we're going down the road at 90 miles an hour. You cannot help yourself. Nobody's going to be able to see whether our centers of our lug nuts studs are painted. Oh, you are.
Well, you can't leave it.
It's not Loctite.
Well, it's going to be locked tight with
Yeah, we'll never get these.
Rust-Oleum.
Oh my gosh.
There.
Yeah, perfect.
But yeah, can you zoom in there and see our caliper?
Oh, look at that. Yep, there it is. That's enough.
As Tyler was tackling the brakes today, I started working on the cabinets. I showed a little of that. I also cut paneling for the last few pieces that were missing. So we're going to go ahead and get that up. Started patching some holes. Need to sand that, primer, and then hopefully by tomorrow we'll be ready to get the cabinets in, and this thing will start feeling like a home. This ceiling panel doesn't have any wood to nail to on this side, so we're gonna go ahead and liquid nails, extreme heavy duty, and then we're gonna rig up something to hold that up so the glue can dry. We can screw it in the back the whole way across, we just can't screw it in the front. So hopefully this works, and you know, if it doesn't, we'll figure something else out. Holy Moses, why? Oh, I know why. I cut the thing huge. Also, I didn't read the directions, which is weird, because normally...
You're a direction reader?
I am.
I've heard that from somewhere.
Yes, that's perfect. I think my parents are here for supper. I said supper for his sake. He's a supper guy. I'm a dinner lady.
What shall we have for dinner, my dear?
Supper.
Yeah, you say, what's for supper?
Nothing. That's the answer.
I don't know, depends on what you're making me.
So we opted not to round down the paneling just because it seemed like a hassle. It probably would have just bent. It's pretty bendy. But you won't see it. There's going to be cabinets along this whole top and the back, so it just seemed unnecessary. There it is. Doesn't get much prettier than that.
Touch him.
All right, we've got a little friend hanging out here. Let me see if I can zoom in. He's waiting to just get us when we unlatch the door. I mean, he's not hurting anything, but he is creepy looking.
As long as he kills mosquitoes, I'm a fan.
Right? All right, bye, buddy. Dinner time. We look terrible. It's a new day. We're back here at the RV. Somehow it didn't fix itself overnight, so we've got some more to do today. Got my visor on from 1906, so that means business.
Yeah, we're going to try to get stuff done as quickly and efficiently as possible this morning because it's supposed to hit 90-something degrees today.
Yeah.
It will be in the smack dab dead center of the sun here very soon.
This little dude's going to need to start paying rent.
All right, Christy's going to take down our paneling support beam that we put up last night.
It looks like it held. You got that top board, so does it clever me?
Well, I think so. There you go. Oh, that's it. You got the tension off.
All right.
Hey.
It stayed up.
Yeah?
Feels pretty good. I mean, that foam under there gives a little bit, but
Wow.
got a little goozy action, which
Sure.
isn't bad. We can trim that. So,
Okay. Well, your idea worked. Good job.
hey, moving along. Now it's time to primer it. All right, second verse, same as the first on the brakes here.
Yeah. My hope is everything goes so much smoother. Gotta get this big rig wheel simulator off of here.
You don't like that? That flew far.
Yeah, it's a
Nice.
flying saucer.
All right, so I don't know. We might not show as much of this side just because we showed it all for the most part yesterday, but we'll check back in a few.
Sounds good. So a slight delay in our brake putting back together phase. You can see that the grease has started to leak around the seal here. I didn't get new seals. They do have them in stock at O'Reilly's. What I want to do, actually, and I bought 3-inch brakes for the rear, not knowing, because I never had the drum off of it, if they're 3s or 2.5s. That's your 2 different sizes. I got to verify that, so I'm going to pull the wheel and drum off the rear, and then we'll go to town and get those seals.
Help has arrived. It is so hot in that camper. Ella and I got the priming done. I got some paint on my visor. This guy's been with me since college, so that's a bummer. It's in great shape otherwise, as you can see.
3 inchers. So that bodes well for me because I ordered 3 inchers instead of the 2.5s that were the option. It should be the correct wheel cylinder also.
Well, we're past the main heat of the day. We wound up heading to church, took the kids swimming, went to O'Reilly's, went to Home Depot. We went everywhere. So anyway, we're back. I think you're hoping to get some more done with the brakes now that you have the parts, and I'm gonna get to work on that little tabletop for behind our couch. So if you didn't see our last video, well, first of all, check it out. We built angled storage behind the couch, And here's our little doors. Nifty hardware that folds flat. So when you want to use it, you flip it over, boop, boop. When you're done, it just goes back down. So anyway, after getting all that put together, now I have to take it apart so I can sand it and give it a coat of stain. Got the old sander of palms loaded up with some new sandpaper. It's about medium grit, 150-ish. Gonna do a nice gentle sanding here, try to go with the grain, just take off any hard edges and any pencil marks, that kind of thing. So get it ready to throw some stain on there.
Got wheel seals. So I've got this seal puller here. Going to use this bad boy to get the old one out, and then we will clean up the surface and put the new one in. Got my wheel seal pulled. Alright, the new wheel seal is ready to go in. When you're driving in a wheel seal, you always want to make sure that you're driving it in nice and even all the way around. Now I have got my own wheel seal installer here. I made this years ago. It has worked pretty well for me. I'll just hit it on the end with a rubber mallet. I will just be able to drive it in flush, and it should be perfect in theory. Alright, new seal installed. Everything is flush. And now we can flip this over. I've still got to clean the front side out a little bit because I want to throw some of that fabulous green paint on there before we slap it back on.
It's all sanded down. The stain color I got is called Early American, so it's kind of a light to medium brown. I'm going to do the back first just in case it looks crazy. But hopefully I can get this on before the dew falls, which is a real possibility any minute now. What you doing? You can put it on with a brush. I usually like to put it on with a rag or an old sock. And the worst thing you can do is leave it on the wood too long. So you can always come back with another coat if you want it darker. But leaving it on is just going to leave like a sticky mess, and it will never dry right. Probably should have separated these.
There's like a frenzy of gnats right here.
I know, I'm literally in a swarm. So then I'll come back with the clean side of said golf towel and wipe off any excess. That looks pretty good.
Yes, it does. It looks fabulous.
Got a coat of stain on it. Just put it in the trailer here so we can let it dry overnight. It's looking a little darker than it actually is just because it's dark outside, but I think I got it done before the dew and it's looking pretty good. Hey, are the mosquitoes feasting on you like they are on me?
Yeah, I don't know if they're drawn to sweat or to just my natural odor.
I don't know. I'm getting eaten alive. I don't know if it's the weather today or what. There are so many mosquitoes.
Yeah.
But, so we have a lot of stuff still out. Do you have a plan for tonight?
I have zero plan, and I'm still trying to get this done, but I'm running out of patience with bugs and time, so I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
All right, I'm going to start cleaning up. I'll check in with you in a few.
Okay.
Okay, we got it cleaned up for tonight. I was going to try to show you guys all the fireflies that were out, and I just couldn't get them on video. So the question is, are they fireflies or lightning bugs?
I'm a lightning bug guy myself.
Yeah, I don't know. Firefly has a nice ring to it. So anyway, we're calling it a night. We'll be back out tomorrow. It's actually been a couple days since we've been out here. The stinking weather this week, it's like tornado and hail called for in the forecast every day. Here's what we came out to this morning. Our sweet tent garage just gave up. So that's awesome. But we're going to get back to work. Hopefully hang some cabinets. It's getting toward evening time already. We had to work today. So we'll probably not get much done with the brakes till tomorrow, but we're going to get inside, get some work done with the cabinets, and hopefully not get eaten to death by mosquitoes.
So if you buy a saw from China, you might want to make sure that it comes with a blade.
Getting ready to hang some cabinets. We're going to do 1, 2, 3. and then 2 more this way. And then if we swing around, got 2 vertical here, and then we're gonna have to build like a storage compartment thing underneath those 2. So first things first, we're gonna have to remove a chunk out of this cabinet because we've got a vent stack for our plumbing over here. So I don't know, you got a jigsaw? We might have to resort to a sawzall. We'll do something, we'll get that chunk out of there.
I wasn't any good at connect the dots at school, but look at what I did.
We could make a shelf out of that.
Oh, I built a shelf for you.
Ooh, 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 build a shelf for you. Ooh, ooh. When I blow a hole through the siding or the roof,
I
then
can say, I told you so. It's not the way I would have done it.
that's literally my job.
I guess you'll start from the left over here when you're going in this board and you can just kind of eyeball it. Is that what you're thinking?
Nobody knows.
It's probably not important.
Oh, shoot. This is terrifying.
Terrifying. This is the fun part.
No, I've literally lost sleep over this. This
That
ceiling
one,
goes up, down, down,
No.
flat, down, up.
No.
That last down, up was our fault. I'm just ready to put it in.
So this is what we've got. 2 cabinets in across the back. Everything's great. We were thinking about doing a filler panel over here. Forgot about that. Gonna do one there. Forgot about that.
I mean, we just got carried away. We didn't forget.
No, well, true. 3rd time's a charm, though. We can still add a filler panel here before we add in our other 2 cabinets.
And the reason is just to bring the top cabinet out to be even with the bottom cabinet.
Sure, right. Yeah, that one down there. The thing is, we bought a 3.5-inch board. Turns out we need a 4.5-inch almost exactly. So tomorrow we'll return our purchased lumber and buy some new stuff. Maybe the right stuff, right?
Perhaps.
Do we need any screws?
We got loads of them.
Right.
All right, good night. See you tomorrow.
Good night.
All right, we've got some wiring we're going to need to put in place for lights. All of this underneath is going to get paneled, including like the dead corner area and the side of this, so you won't be able to see that those don't go all the way back. And we'll build like a tabletop doodad thing there. Back to work on the brakes. We'll do a little more with the cabinets, but we need to get these done. And we just hit 1,500 subscribers.
Oh, nice.
Yay!
That is exciting.
Yeah, so all of you who are new to the channel, we appreciate it. And
I wasn't wiping a tear. That was something in my eye.
brought a tear to Tyler's eyes. If you want to throw a thumbs up in there, leave us a comment. We're glad to have you here. We appreciate it.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I went to take Jack to work and came back to this. So progress.
Something's happening. I've gave up on the brakes. I'm just putting the wheel back on. Out of sight, out of mind.
One front brake's enough.
Yeah.
Just hit it and spin in a circle. All right, back to the rear. What do you have going on?
So I was just cleaning up my brakes, inspecting those. Springs are all in place. Everything looks good there. And there's a lot of material left on these shoes. So just comparing, I got some new ones, but I don't have any cracks in here. I don't have any gouges. Everything seems to be good. The one thing I do want to do is replace this wheel cylinder, and
So I had to have this apart to do that anyway. But I don't think I'm going to break it down as far as taking out the springs to do the shoes.
Sweet.
The adjuster and everything works fine. I will kind of do a start to finish on the other side.
Hey, just a quick interruption to tell you about the coolest thing we got in the mail today. So there is now an official RetroRevivals fan club, and that's my friend Amanda's face, and there's little RVs, and this is my friend Ellen's face, and yep, little RVs. So apparently they formed a fan club, and I'm very thankful for the socks, and we're gonna wear them every day, and I love you guys. Back to the show. Step by step on how to do the brakes on the back side.
Yeah, let's hope. So, just gonna heat up these lug nuts to break them loose.
Last one, yeah! Did it get it?
Yeah.
Or do we just break the breaker bar?
Probably my femur.
Taking off the wheel.
Next up, get the drum off. You actually have to pull the axle out of the axle tube. Now that I've got these nuts off, these are the keepers, these little rings here. Those are a tapered keeper. They're split, and they actually have to be, they have to pop out for the axle to come out. So you're supposed to smack directly on the middle of this axle. You can't, because somebody did me the favor of booger welding on this pipe thread. I'm assuming to be able to put gear oil into the end of the axle here. So I can't smack directly on that. I've got to smack on either side.
Smoldering. Stuff's happening. There we go.
There. Okay, so this is a good example of what I was talking about. Those getting driven in there, and then when that nut pulls down onto the stud, it really locks everything down. 50 years later, it locks it down so good that you can't get it off. Yeah. Here comes the axle.
Ooh,
Yep. There she is.
nice.
So this is a Dana 60 rear end. How do I know? It's a 30 spline rear axle. She looks like she could have used a good oil change. There you go. So there's your outer wheel band.
Beauty.
Springs are good, shoes are good. Keep on going. I gotta throw some lubie juice on these bolts to get the wheel cylinder off. There's 2 of those, and then the brake line. This is a stud that holds all your parts together. On the back side there's a nut. I've got to pull that out and let that fall forward so I can get to this brake cylinder. Alright, I'm going to let this hang out here. When it goes back together, I just have to reattach my adjuster cable there. Now our wheel cylinder is exposed. I've got the bolts out of the back. I've just got to free up these shoes a little bit, pop it off. This piston on this side is froze up, and I think that's what was causing my wheel to drag. Alright, and that's what your cruddy wheel cylinder looks like. Let's see. Yeah, see that stuff in there? That's not conducive to good brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just rebuilding the brakes. Comparing our new and old wheel cylinders here, everything matches up. Looks like it's going to be a good fit. I'm going to line up the wheel cylinder in its hole here, and I'm going to start attaching the brake line before I bolt it in or put anything else in. That way it gives me just a little bit of wiggle room. We're doing wheel cylinders, might as well do a new brake hose. This one brake hose comes from a hard line in the front and then splits and goes out to each wheel cylinder. I got the new one in and it's all back together. Pop that bad boy out, and there that exposes our inner bearing. The race and everything looks clean. New seal installed. In comes the behemoth. Oh, it's way lighter than it looks. Oh, come on. So everything's free turning. So this axle and hub assembly here is greased by the gear oil that's in the differential. It travels down the axle tube and lubricates these bearings. According to my manual, it says to go ahead and pack the bearings. I feel like it's better to be safe than sorry, so I'm gonna add some grease to this outer bearing. I'm gonna run the first axle nut in till it hits the bearing. Okay, so you're supposed to spin the wheel and tighten that bearing or that axle nut at the same time. This little key right here goes into the slot in the axle tube, and then your outer nut. After you've got your axle nuts on, you're just going to bend a couple of these tabs over. Right before I slide the axle in, I'm going to adjust on the drum brakes just a little bit to make them drag a little bit more. Put a little axle grease on the splines, slide those into the tube, and there you go. All the keepers are in, all the nuts are just hand tightened. I'm going to run those down with a ratchet and then the impact.
Once again, working in the moonlight, but I think we've got it pretty much back together at this point.
The brakes and wheels were a monumental task, but we've got it all back together now. We've got the wheels on, the brakes are done, and
yeah, we'll give you a sneak peek. Let me turn on my flash so you can even see what's going on. Boom!
So we felt like we had to get you guys a shot of this, even though it is dark. In the daylight, these wheels will really pop, I'm sure. But maybe the next video, we can get it out there in the sun.
Yeah, that's probably going to do it for this video. Well, it's definitely going to do it. It's bedtime. Kids have first day of school tomorrow, but we've got new kitchen cabinets that are going to go in. We've got sinks, air fryer, induction cooktop. We've got to do more with the cabinets that are there and start getting the inside put together. But Tyler's got a little more engine wiring and stuff that he wants to do, but it's coming along.
Hey, if you guys like the content you've been watching, go back and check our other videos. It helps maybe explain a little bit more about Harvey here. And if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below. We really like to read your comments. You guys come up with some good stuff. It's a lot of good encouragement and also some helpful hints.